The weekend is here, and it is time for our family-friendly movie reviews with Bob Waliszewski. He is director of Focus on the Family's entertainment review department called Plugged In Online. So, Bob, let's start with the Adam Sandler movie called Blended. We know that he isn't usually family-friendly, so how about this time around?
Well, I will say at its very core, the message of the film Blended is very focused on the family. I mean, the importance of a mother and a father. What you have is Adam Sandler's character has 3 girls. He lost his wife to cancer. Drew Barrymore's character has 2 boys. She lost her husband because he was such a cheat. They go on a blind date. Everything is just a total disaster. They never want to see each other again. But of course, they do see each other. Their kids end up really falling for the other parent. So at its core, this mother and father dynamic is really nice to see. But to get to that message, one has to endure quite a bit of sensual, wink-wink, risque joking. So I gave this one just a 2 out of 5 for family friendliness, even though it had so much going for it.
Potential indeed. Well, another installment of the X-Men series is out. What do you think?
Yeah, essentially we focus on Professor X in the near future. The governments of the world have created a mutant killer force called Sentinels, and they believe their only hope is to send Wolverine back in time to 1973 in hopes that he can erase a murder that's tied to all the events in the future. If he can undo that in the past, it'll help them in the present. As you might expect, and we've seen it with other X-Men, it's a classic good versus evil story, a lot of self-sacrifice and courage on display. But the violence, although not bloody, is quite visceral and pretty unrelenting in this film. And I ended up giving this one a mere 2.5 out of 5 for family friendliness.
All right, before we go, we've got a PG movie out in limited release. It's a true story from the 18th century, and it's called Belle. Sound interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, for those in the CBN world that can get this film, I really like it. I would call it a bit of a prequel to Amazing Grace, a bit of a prequel to the William Wilberforce story in London. It's just, there's so much to say. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5, a period piece that just, I love the true story, and as the credits roll, we're getting caught up with a lot of that. Again, it is limited release, but if you can check your local listings, if you find that Belle is playing, definitely read our review. It is worth considering.
Indeed. All right. Thank you, Bob.
You bet.